Let's go. Good morning, all. How are we?
Good morning, let's get it, fans. Like you know what I mean. Like, Randy, you didn't hear the music, man.
No, you know
Right.
what's funny?
Go
No,
ahead, man.
Coach, could you hear the music? Because I couldn't.
I did hear it. I did.
See, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it this morning, man. How we doing today? How we doing, fellas?
We're doing good, man. How are you? I'm doing all right, man. It's been okay. It's been a interesting week. My throat's hurting, so I'm a little annoyed at that. But other than that, I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Listen, I'm glad I'm not around you if your throat is hurting, to be honest.
Yeah. It's not a really good thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's not a good thing.
So you got the scratchy throat. Have you tried the tea and the honey and the lemon?
Yeah.
He does that every day anyway.
That's it. All right. That's already built up in me. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna,
Like that stuff is already built up in me, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, yeah, I'm doing all right, man. Just I'm trying to I'm on the mend. So, you know what I mean? I'm on the mend. So I'm trying to get better, man. How about yourself? Yeah, everybody else is good?
I'm doing well. I got not a whole lot going on today, which is a good thing. Trying
Yeah.
to reorganize life, like what I always say every week, and a little bit gets done, and a little bit gets done, and hopefully we can chop a lot of it out today. But everything's going well.
It's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. How about you, Randall? Everything's good with you? You look very relaxed.
doing good. Doing good.
Is that a couch or something? You know what I mean? You look very relaxed there, man.
Yeah. Well, you listen. As we can see, we're doing a remote show today,
Hmm.
and so I am doing.
Yeah. Yeah, see, this is the thing. This is the thing with the remote show, right? So, like, sometimes you're like dependent on, like, I guess, are you at like you're at a hotel, conference center? Yeah, we heard none of that. So, what are you
I think he said Airbnb. I read his lips.
Airbnb?
I,
Oh,
yeah.
you're at an Airbnb. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, so sometimes you're dependent
Yes.
on their Wi-Fi, and their Wi-Fi is not the best. You know what I'm saying? So like everything you say is like it's delayed and it comes like maybe 5 minutes after you say it.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
So we just caught it. Look, we just caught it.
Jay, I got a question for you. Speaking of Wi-Fi, how's the Wi-Fi at Penns Grove High School?
Oh, it's terrible.
Okay.
Oh, it's terrible.
Why can schools not figure this out?
Yo, I don't know. It's a great topic because it's terrible. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure it's because of I think it's probably because of the amount of bandwidth that everything has to carry because it's not just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not just it's the students, just every computer and it runs the whole district. And
Right.
I would just think, yo, get some routers, you know what I mean? But I'm not a computer guy. As much as I think I am, I'm not. You know what I mean?
Because I've never been in a school where they have good Wi-Fi. Ever.
Yeah. I almost feel like sometimes though, the colleges get it right though a little bit. You ever go into like a training or something and you got to log in? Randy, I know. Randy, you said something. We'll catch it in about 3-4 minutes. So if you want to comment, say it now, and then it'll come in a few minutes. But I think it's like the colleges.
Listen, let's see if I can lock.
There it is.
So what's the delay right now? About 2 minutes?
It depends on when you said that.
Right. Yeah, we don't really know. I almost want. It's like you're teleporting your message. I almost want to tell you. I almost want you to text us like, "Yo, I said it at this time."
Hold on.
Hold on. Man, this is funny here, man.
Man.
Nah, the colleges though. I think the colleges they have like decent Wi-Fi, but yeah, but just high school, nah, just it's always been just and it gets worse. Like what I'm saying, like I remember one time we was had to do something in the auditorium and was expecting the kids to log on and nobody could log on. Nobody could. Oh, it just was terrible. So but.
At Holy Cross, we want to do any type of film or anything like that where I got to pull up something online. It takes forever.
Forever, right?
It's never smooth.
Never, and it's crazy because sometimes I thought about like getting the portable, the hotspot and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it needs to be like a big one if you want to do it.
I gotta ask, is that better? Is that better, fellas?
Yeah, because you know what? I feel like it's more like a 40-second delay now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. I think we just have some check-ins and then we be done. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even see how we can have like a big discussion this way. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just do some check-ins and that's it, man.
Wow.
Yeah, can you hear Randy? You hear us?
I'm good. I can hear you guys well.
Oh, okay. It's getting a little better. It's getting a little better. Yeah, it seems like we're getting a little better. But again, I don't think that what I'm saying. I mean, listen, what is new that's happening? You got college March Madness. The schedule comes out today, right? So the games begin when? It's Thursday.
They have the playing games on Tuesday, and then the round of 64 starts Thursday.
Okay.
The best 2 days of the year.
Okay. All right. Right. So what I mean, it's time. It's like basketball heaven right now. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure. I mean, I understand that Syracuse is not even in it, so I don't even know who to root for.
There's got to be at least one. There's got to be at least one team from New York in it.
Oh, well, you know that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be Iona, you know what I mean?
Iona is in it. Iona is in it.
Okay, let's go Patino. Future St. John's, Storm.
Future St. John's, yep.
You know what I mean? That's an interesting argument too, though. Maybe that's a great discussion too. We should have like little debates of, not even debates, but more like, just moments. How come some teams are okay with changing their names because it is offensive to cultures and some aren't? Like you see the like St. John's Redmond, right? They used to be the Redmond, but now the Storm. Now you got, you know what I mean? But the Braves are still the Braves, though.
Wait. St. John's used to be the
you didn't know that? The St. John's Redmond? You thought it was always the Storm, the Red Storm?
I always thought it was the Red Storm.
No, it got offensive. So you know what I'm saying? It used to be the St. John's Redmond.
I didn't know that. I only I think St. John's is one of those teams though that their mascot doesn't they're St. John's.
Right.
Like the Tar Heels, the Blue Devils, who St. John's is St. John's.
Right. They used to be pretty good, man. Like when they were even the Red Storm too. Like when they had Bootsy Thornton and Ron Artest and them. They was tough. They was a good squad. But I'm talking about like when they was at Redmond, they was like Chris Mullin, Mark Jackson, Shelton Jones. Them cats out there. You know what I mean? But the Redmond.
I'm with Coach. I never knew that either.
Wow. So like one thing, and it's a local team that I was actually kind of surprised that they still is Lenape and Cherokee.
That's true. I actually had that conversation maybe last year with somebody about when are they going to have to change their names. Yeah, I agree. I
You know
think
what
it's
I'm saying?
interesting.
Like that's
Yeah.
that was a little.
Well, is Penn Salkin?
Pensalkin still, I believe, yeah.
What about Penn Salkin? Are they still the Indians?
They still the
believe so.
Indians too? Wow.
I think so. Yep.
So it's just something that pops.
So let me get. So I'm seeing that my delay is a little better now, but it's improved.
You see it too? Wow. Yeah, it is better. It is a little better. It is a little better.
Oh,
It's not. You know.
so let me.
It's a little better. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite March Madness memory?
Wow, that's a great question. That's a good question. Wow. See, you know what? We gotta get you more relaxed. I see that it must. You know, that's a great question there, Randall.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a great question. Favorite March Madness? I don't know. I think I may go with. I was really happy when that was a great game. I don't know if y'all saw the 03 with Syracuse and when Carmelo and Hakeem Warrick made that block. That was a great game. That was a great game. You know what I mean? And yeah,
that to me so underrated on that team. I love Jerry McNamara.
Yeah, he wasn't underrated.
He wasn't underrated. Jerry McNamara, Hakeem Warrick both just got their jerseys their numbers retired by Syracuse the other day. So congrats to both of them.
Yeah, congrats to them. Yeah, he wasn't underrated at all. That was a bad dude.
Okay.
Jerry McNamara's a bad boy.
Nah, that was a bad boy. If ananybody was underrated, it might have been Billy Edelin. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you remember Billy Edelin. Billy was tough.
Billy had his own issues he had to deal with. That's why he didn't get the. They couldn't promote him too much.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that is true.
Syracuse, how do you feel that they handled the Jim Boeheim situation?
I mean, I don't think they handled it at all. I think Boeheim handled it. When you're there for 47 years, you kind of get to dictate things on your own terms. And I'm sure he didn't want. I'm sure. So that's why a lot of guys will wait instead of having this world tour about this is my last year. Like I'm going to wait. So now that I can name my successor and we don't have 100 guys trying to get this job.
Yeah. I mean, I think I agree. I'm like, I didn't realize that he had been there that long.
Yeah.
So he pretty much got the job like right out of college. You know what I'm saying? So that, to see that, I mean, he's been there. Listen, I'm born, raised New York. I started my first couple years in Staten Island, and I moved to Long Island, and I lived in a town who actually is always kind of home. Is always going to be home, even though I say Hempstead, Uniondale, because that's where I went to school too. But it's really like Lakeview, New York. You know what I'm saying? And Malvern High School. And actually, Lakeview reminds me of a Penns Grove, to be honest with you. It's a small town. Everybody know each other, But Malvern High School, you're talking about a school, small school, but you're talking about nothing but ballers. And they had, so we looked up to cats, and, my father used to tell us about cats like, I went to Syracuse, like Andre Hawkins. And we're like, wow, Andre Hawkins. Wow, he's from Malvern. He went to and didn't know that he played for Boeheim. You know what I'm saying? Who else is from Malvern? Al Skinner. I don't think he went to Syracuse though. But just looking up to players like Andre Hawkins and stuff like that, it's like, wow, Boeheim he's been the head coach since like 76, since I was born. You understand what I'm saying? That's a long time. So kudos to him. And he's stuck with that 2-3. And he made that defense work. But he always recruits those long, rangy, lengthy players to be able to make that defense work for him. You know what I'm saying? Always.
Yeah, I think that's what at the last few years he wasn't getting those same kind of kids, which is what hurt him and why they weren't winning, because he didn't have the kids that could really play that defense the way he wanted to.
Play that defense, right. And I think maybe his time is changing now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So times are changing. The last good team I remember, I liked his son. I thought his son could have been in the NBA. Buddy, what's his name? Buddy Boeheim?
Buddy, yeah.
That team was all right to me. That team went Sweet 16, I think.
They made a little run.
Yeah, they made a little run. You know what I'm saying? I like the Malachi Richardson team. You know, he had teams, man. You know, the first heartbreak team though was the Sherman Douglas team. That was a heartbreaker team with Derek Coleman.
So my first. I mean, I knew about the Sherman Douglases, the Derek Colemans.
Right.
My first team that I got into with Syracuse was John Wallace.
Oh, the John Wallace team.
When they lost in the championship, right?
They did. Yeah, they sure did.
And I remember watching that game. That was probably one of the game where I locked into it the most, and that's when I really started to like Syracuse, was because of that team. That
John Wallace team. Who else was on that team? Was that Conrad?
Who?
Was that Conrad McRae? I think was that a Conrad McRae?
I remember they had a lefty. I'm looking it up right now. They had a lefty. Where was that?
And was Autry the guard for them?
Back here.
Autry might have been the guard for them. He was the guard for them, I think.
Oh, I'm looking it up right now.
I don't think Bogans was.
I know what Coach brings up.
That team who was like a big guard. That's who I really liked.
The big guard, but who was it though? Not Johnson. David Johnson was gone by then.
Where are we at here? What year was it?
That's 90. I was in the dorm, so it's 96. I remember watching in Frederick Douglass dorm in Lincoln University. They lost. I'll forget that one. John Wallace. Oh, Otis. Otis. I think.
So
Lazarus
Sims.
Lazarus Sims. Yeah. He was tough. Who else was on that team, though, Coach?
Hold on. Where's that here? Man, I can't. That 90. So that's 96, 97.
Yes. No, 90.
Right?
Well, 95, 96. It's been 95, 96.
So,
okay, yeah. John Wallace.
Coach, Jay, let me ask you a question. Another question.
Well,
Jay, let me ask you another question.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you think that they need to extend the tournament anymore?
All right, give me a second. I don't think so. I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think that it's already, what is it like? It actually is about a good 2-3 weeks. So, because this weekend coming up will be who's going to the Sweet 16, right? If you complete through Sunday, then you have Sweet 16 who's going through to the Final 8. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's good. You know what I mean? I think it's good. You know what I mean?
I think that because they're talking about extending it out to like 94 teams, and I'm like, no, it's already enough.
No, that becomes more like a township tournament now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's everybody. Yeah. Everybody makes it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, no. I mean,
that's what conference tournaments are already for. They kind of weed out who shouldn't be there and all that stuff, and then I don't think they need to. So that team: John Wallace, Otis Hill,
right, the center.
Todd Bergen.
Bergen was there, so Bergen was tough.
Jason Sapola. I remember him.
The shooter.
Yep. Lazarus Sims.
And Jason Hart.
No.
That wasn't Jason Hart team? Who's the guard? Sims wasn't the point guard.
Lazar, yes, he was. Yes, that's where I remember it. He was a big guard. Yes. because he was a big point guard, and I was like, "Yo, this dude's playing the point." It was like the first big guard I saw.
Word? Oh wow.
You know who was a freshman on that team?
Who?
Donovan McNabb.
McNabb, right? He sat the bench though. He was a walk-on, I think. Yeah, McNabb, right? McNabb, one of the greatest quarterbacks in history, not the
greatest quarterback in Eagles history.
No, one of them. Nick Foles is. So, but we're not going there. We're not going there because we can't really argue. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to. But no, that I think, yeah. I thought so Jason Hart did play for Syracuse though, right?
Jason Hart got there the next year.
Oh, the next year. Okay. Oh. Yeah, Bergens was a holdover. Yeah, I remember Bergens. Bergens can play. I think Bergens was the lefty. Matter of fact, Bergens I know was the lefty. Todd Bergens, he was the lefty.
Yeah. He was lefty, yeah.
13 or something like that. Yeah, he was tough. He could play a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Syracuse had some squads, though.
Going back to a local.
Was good.
Bringing it back local.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite local team run that we've ever had? Like, people talk about St. Joe's, you talk about Temple. Like, what's your favorite local?
Go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
For me, it's Temple when they had like Pepe Sanchez, Lynn Greer, Mark Karcher, Ron Rollerson, like those guys. Like that was like the first team that I really like watched from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. And they they didn't get it done, but that was like the team I that really got me into it. The Villanova teams with Jalen, they were fun because they won, but they were kind of supposed to win. So it was like that. I think that's a little different. That St. Joe's team, that was probably like when they lost. That I felt really bad when that team lost because it was like they're gonna do it. Like it seemed like the Cinderella story.
Yeah.
So that Temple team, that particular Temple team was the one that I really loved.
Yeah, the St. Joe's team, that one burned me. I was living in Delaware then. What was that? 04, right? That one hurt. That one hurt. Who they lose to? Redick and them? They lose to Duke? I can't remember. But I like that team. I like Jameer. But it's interesting that none of y'all say any of the, I thought maybe, because y'all Jerseyans, I thought maybe y'all would have said the St. Peter's run, or I'm sure Seton Hall made a run. Like there was some Seton Hall runs too. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting that none of y'all said that. But I would say if I don't know. I could say locally a lot of different places because I've lived a lot of different places, right? So I can go on my Syracuse team. That was local to me. I could even go because I lived in Delaware. I could even go that Del State run when Del State made it to the game. You know what I'm saying? That was big. They lost. They played good in that first half versus JJ Redick, but they ultimately lost. So it was a lot of different teams. Even I think UD had a team one year that made it to the dance as well. So it's a few teams, but I think I'd have to agree with the St. Joe's. Coach mentioned the St. Joe's team. That was heartbreaking. So I really thought they was going to win. They were undefeated too, weren't they?
I agree. Like Coach talked about.
Right, they hadn't lost. That was their first, and they lost.
I think I agree with
they
you.
They lost the final 8, or was it the final 8 or the final 4?
I feel like they lost to go to the final 4, so I think it was 8. I think
the 8. Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, they lost the Elite 8.
Yeah,
they had the cover of Sports Illustrated and everything.
They were tough. They were a tough team, and they came out of nowhere because I wasn't really inundated with the South Jersey, Philly culture like that as far as basketball, whatever. So, Phil Martelli, I didn't really know who the hell he is. I'm like, St. Joe's to me was like a little small school. But now you understand. Now being up here, I'm like, nah, that's a big school. It's a decent school. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of came out of nowhere, and dare I say, like, yo, my favorite player on there was Delonte West, man. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy. It's just that's just that whole thing.
I was gonna bring up Delonte West.
Yeah, that was my favorite player on there, man. Jameer got busy too, but Delonte was tough, man. And everything kind of went through him.
It was kind of
Jones,
sad to see where his life and career went.
Yeah, well, things happen, man. Things happen. It's unfortunate too. I think he's still out there too. I think what's his name tried to help him, Mark Cuban, and then I think I just saw something recently that he was still out there. It's unfortunate though. It's what happens in life though. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. We wish him the best.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, down here this weekend is the SEC tournament, which is pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't know where you are. Where are you?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, Nashville. Okay. All right. Coming live. That's what's up. The tournament's down there though, the SEC.
People love their teams, and like there's a connection to Alabama and Kentucky and the other Southern teams like no other.
I'm sure. I mean, it's cool, man. That college basketball.
See that? Mm-hmm. So, but it's funny too because it's like you can make you can't even make jokes about their teams.
Well, you can relate. You know what I'm saying?
I can.
Yeah, you can relate. I saw. Matter of fact, speaking of Tennessee, I saw Eddie George. You remember Eddie George?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Eddie George Friday night. I also I was at this place. Shout out to the King Movement and Chris Broussard and even Pastor Cal and my good brother Rob Page, just allowing me to be able to experience that, to be able to be a part of the King Movement. I saw Chris Broussard or whatever. Who gave like a talk and who spoke? He was a guest speaker, Brian Dawkins. And you even when you hear him, you see him play. And even his talk or his speech, his words is just as passionate as he played on the football field. So definitely uplifting and inspiring and stuff like that. So good stuff though. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things about Brian Dawkins is that like off the field, I know he's a very religious man and he's a great speaker. Like he's so much more than a football player.
Yeah. So, it was good. It was a good thing. I mean, they broke out in a little Eagles chant, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I was like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Like, oh gosh, But, hey, listen. He was a great Eagle. He probably was like the lifeline of those Eagles teams, the spirit of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame that he couldn't get no ring. That's the thing. That's the sad thing.
The sad thing too about that is that he played for another team. Like Brian Dawkins is one of those guys that should have ended his career in one uniform.
Where'd he go?
He went and he played with the Broncos.
Oh, okay. All right. For a couple of years or?
I think it was 2.
I think it was like 2 or 3 years. I forget.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, football's, you don't really see that where, that's very rare where in football where one player just stays. I think that's rare nowadays, period, though. You know what I'm saying? In all sports, maybe except hockey.
Especially football, though, because they have the unguaranteed contract. So, guys, they're, it's just so easy to get the guys. So there's no.
Right. Speaking of contracts, what's up with Lamar? Why, what's that? And then how do you give Danny Dimes 160? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to come back to haunt.
I don't understand.
He sucks. And then I'm not sure what the holdout is over Lamar. Lamar, I don't know. Lamar is like the recreation of RG3.
Yeah, it's a good comparison.
Yeah, I agree. I still think it's the problem is I think the Browns are the problem. The Browns gave Deshaun Watson that fully guaranteed contract, and now that's what everybody wants. And it's like that's not realistic. And like that, I don't know, and so now everybody's trying to get the same thing, which I understand from their standpoint. But it's tough, man. For me, it's interesting though. Like why, okay, Baltimore. What are you gonna do if you don't have it? Like, what do you
exactly.
like, what's your backup plan?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, you like they really do need to sign him, and
they do need to sign him. I don't know. I don't know what else their plans are. It's not like they have like a young Joe Flacco and waiting in the wings or somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to sign him. But at the same time, it's just a tough league. I think to get equity in. The football league. You know what I mean? You don't have no African American owners. It's just a tough league, man. It's just a tough league. What is Lamar? Lamar wants what, 200? He wants the same thing Deshaun Watson got. I'm not sure if he gets that, but he should get. He's pretty much makes them relevant, to be honest with you.
It's tough when he's had a bunch of injuries. He's had the way he plays.
Right, and that's the thing. Right, so that's the thing. You know what I mean? He does have some injuries, but was this injury that kept him out? Was this more about protecting the future, or was this? It's hard to like gauge those things. You know what I mean? And then now you could switch over to the Jets. They got Aaron Rodgers maybe coming too. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to follow in the same footsteps that Brett Favre did.
Right. Which is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you say, Randy?
They're saying he's going to go to the Jets.
Saying he's going to go to the Jets. That's what we're hearing. So, and then you could tell there's some friction because the Packers said, well, that's not our top priority right now. So, okay, when you start hearing stuff like that, it's like, okay, it's just a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think the Packers are trying to be done with him, but let him make that decision.
Yeah.
So that way they can save face for the franchise. We didn't get him out of here. We didn't do that, but I think they're done with his drama and all the
antics and stuff like
entitlement that he brings.
He sure does. Now that's the great word, entitlement.
Aaron Rodgers is one of those players that we're seeing that even though he's great on the field, like there is a lot of baggage that comes with him.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not even sure if his greatness has been that much on display like it used to be.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So things tend to change, and so we'll see what's going on with that. How about them Sixers though, man? They Doc's been coaching well. I don't know. He's been coaching better. You know what I'm saying? He's been coaching better. They're on a little run now. I forget who they play tonight, though. They play at 6:00 tonight. I know that much. I'm not sure who they play, but that's going to be a good game. I don't know. It's all going to come down to Embiid and Harden, and if they could, complement each other that way, Harden, can really, really turn it up in the playoffs. Not just scoring, but just overall intensity. That's what it is. It's like a lack of intensity from him from sometimes. I promise you.
Go
ahead.
Let me ask you something, Jay and Coach. What do you think Joel has to do more to win that MVP?
Yeah, I don't even care about him winning that shit.
You know what? I was
know
having
no
this
one
conversation. Yeah, I mean everybody. I mean,
you don't care.
I know I don't care, but go ahead, Coach. I don't.
Embiid, I think Embiid really cares. And I hate to say this because everybody gets upset about it, but like Jokic's numbers are better. I'm not saying he's a better player, because if you're telling me who do I have to pick, I'm picking Embiid.
Right.
But his numbers are better. And a lot of that has to do with the talent that's around him and the way they play. I don't think the Sixers are built around Joel Embiid. All right. I think the Nuggets are built completely around Jokic. So he's built to have better numbers. And the way he plays, he's going to have better numbers. Now, also, them in first place in the West helps.
Yep.
And Embiid, he's great. He's definitely in my opinion today, he's number 2 in the MVP race. I just don't think he's number 1. And
it's interesting. You said that you think he cares. I last year I would have said I believe he cares a whole lot. This year, I just don't feel like he cares, unless he's just trying to psych his mind out and play that psychological game within himself. I don't know if he cares like that. I don't know. I see, because that shit, that stuff doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's smart enough to know that the minute he found out he did not win, his production dipped.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's almost like he was focused on the wrong goal.
Well, and he said, and this has kind of bothered me last year.
I have to disagree, Jay.
He said, I didn't win the MVP, so now I got to go win a championship. Like, no. You got to, that should have been the goal from the beginning.
Right. That's good. Right. That should have been the goal. Now, Randy, let me, because you on delay. I'm going to have to do this. Randy, why do you say you disagree, though?
MVP award. And he's got to get one.
I don't know. I mean, you really think that that's important to him because of what happened last year?
Yes, because I think it is good at MVP before a championship. Your MVP comes with the championship.
Okay.
So, I guess here's the question that could help Embiid. If you're looking at the teams right now, all the teams in the NBA, and you rank them in order of who you think can actually win an NBA championship, I would put the Sixers ahead of the Nuggets.
Yes, I would. I would too.
Even though they're first in the West, I would put the Sixers ahead of the Nuggets. So team-wise, I think the Sixers are a better team, even though they're not as high in the standings. But I think and Embiid's been great, unbelievably great.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And he's been durable. And he's been durable.
Yeah, that's true.
He's been durable. I mean, people would say, and Randy, I've heard you say that, we can't miss these years of his prime. That was I feel like this. I've been hearing you say it for 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? So he's been durable. And I was speaking to and shout out Coach Sam. That's his name, Coach Sam's Elvira, down in Penns Grove. I was speaking to him, very knowledgeable man too, and good at track and all that. Track coach for Penns Grove, right? And he told me that, because I used to get on Embiid about why is he always falling? It's something psychologically, I think, if I'm playing against somebody and they're always falling, I'm like, oh, this cat's weak. You understand what I'm saying? It's a psychological thing, right? But he kind of broke it down in a different way when it was like, nah, he does that because that's how he could stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk. That's actually how he was taught.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as like, those pounds now, he was taught that. He was taught to fall.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never knew. You know what I'm saying? That I never knew. So I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I actually think that I like the way the Sixers are playing. I thought that I sort of, we won that game. It was like 147 to 143 or whatever. I don't like games like that because there's no defense being played. So even though you got the victory, nobody's playing defense. You know what I'm saying? But the win's the win. They just been playing well. I don't know. They've just been playing well, and these complementary players have been playing well. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul Reed is a solid backup. That could do. He reminds me of like a young Theo Ratliff. I definitely like him better than 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Because where's he been?
We don't need him at all.
Right, we don't even need him, right? So he's Springer seems to be okay. House Jr. But
he's been a disappointment. House has been a disappointment.
House.
Yeah.
Is it the playing time or he?
I thought he was going to bring more.
I thought he would be a reliable player off the bench, and I don't think he So when we get into the playoffs, like who if you trim your roster down to say 9, even though Doc's still going to play 10,
he's going to play 10.
Who are those 9 guys? Like, so you off the bench, who's playing? Like the fact that we have to rely on Shake in the playoffs, I don't like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't like that. Like. I'm not saying now Shake could come in a game like he last year or whatever year it was, and he can win you a game.
Yeah.
But like if you have to rely on that, if you have to rely on him to be consistent throughout a playoff series, I don't like that.
Yeah, no, we're in trouble. And hey, listen, where is your boy? Where's Mr. Remember you said he turned the corner. He turned another corner too. He turned right back around.
He just made it. He's just making many lefts. He keeps ending up at the same spot.
Where is he still on the team?
So my son told me he asked for a trade.
He did. I remember that. I remember reading that. But I don't think he ever got granted though.
He asked for a trade
though. Yeah, but I think he's still there though.
No, he's still there. But I'm like, if you ask for a trade, I'm not. I forget you.
Oh, you're not playing. Right. That's a good point. Right. Yeah. So what's the point?
I don't think he fits. He doesn't like. He's not good. He's just not good.
He's just not. Yeah, and I think if anything, here's who I love. I love.
You know what?
I love Bang Bang Niang. They stole my phrase, but that one, Niang, he's tough. That's a tough dude right there. I like his game. Niang,
I want to go back.
Go ahead, Randy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Randy.
I want to go back real quick.
There it is.
Like with the Embiid situation, like what looks better on my shelf? A regular season MVP or a finals MVP?
You know what's crazy? I think people put more stock into a regular season MVP.
Yeah, they do.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's right, but I think that's what people put more stock in.
Yeah.
Because you figure when people say who won the championship, many people don't talk about your finals MVP.
Yeah.
But we do put a lot of emphasis on the regular season MVP. I don't think that's right. I think it should just be one MVP for the season. Because a lot like Jokic last year or whatever year it was, they got bounced early, and he shouldn't have won that.
Yeah.
Things like that. But I mean, I get it. It's two different things, regular season, whatever. But I don't know. It's the same thing.
I still think they should do a conference MVP.
I
think they should have two different MVPs.
We ended at the regular season. there you go. Or, however you do it. But but I don't know. I mean, I think Embiid's right there to win it. I'm a lot of people said it's already over, and I still think if he can put on a show and just they can win and win and win, I think he's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah, I think that I think
if the Sixers are able to get to the top seed,
that's asking a lot. They got the toughest schedule left in the league,
and they've been doing well with it though.
I don't see it happening.
Doing well.
See it happening.
I can tell you like this: what I don't want is I don't want, I'm scared of some teams. There's some pretty decent teams. Like I don't want Philly to have to play a New York Knicks team. I don't want that.
I agree with that.
Those Knicks.
Well, that's what
Knicks
they're set up right now for.
I know, and I don't want that.
Right now, that would be their matchup.
What? So the Knicks are in what 6?
So, but listen, I think I know. I think we still have to wrap it up. Getting on our front runner, New Jersey. Final thoughts.
Yes. All right. So let me go first. My final thought is I don't like remote shows.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's good conversation though, but I don't like remote shows because, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you can't tell when the double dutch in, when the jump in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think I look forward to, I want to see the Sixers win today. I wish I felt better so I could go. And then I'm looking forward to some college basketball and some of those excitement things, and the return of just like AAU and just seeing some good basketball. So I'm looking forward to that. I actually thought springing forward was going to be a little more hurtful, but it wasn't, and I'm gonna tell you why. I went to bed like 10 o'clock. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just went to bed because I didn't feel good. So I fell asleep, and you know what? I woke up and I'm like, oh, okay, it is what it is. So normally I actually try to take off the next day because I'm that behind. You know what I'm saying? But, so looking forward to some warmer weather. I'm looking forward to spring again, and I'm looking forward to school starting that descent.
So the spring forward didn't hurt me at all because I didn't know it was supposed to happen.
Oh,
so my phone just did its thing on its own. I woke up, I'm like, and I didn't think about it. Like I just didn't know. I had no idea until I got in the car this morning, and my car clock. I'm like, oh. So I didn't know. Like I felt like I just didn't know it was happening, so it didn't really affect me. But my other final thought will be this. I don't know if you guys watched the game last night between the Warriors and the Bucks, but do not count out Golden State.
Oh no, you cannot. Absolutely.
Now Giannis didn't play and all that, but neither did Andrew Wiggins. But Steph is
absolutely.
He's the most fun player in the league to watch. So it was unbelievable.
Absolutely. You cannot count them out. No, because Golden State is dead. Please, no. But you can count out the Phoenix Suns, though. How about that?
How long is he out for?
3 weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
Dare I say, listen, and you guys know I can't stand KD. I was becoming a fan. I like him on Phoenix.
I know.
But then when they tell me that he slipped, I don't know. What slip did he have? Did
you see it?
No, you saw it?
Oh, it was bad. Like he's legit hurt. Like he's hurt. Like it was bad.
You saw it. How you wait, you slipped on the court or in the locker room?
On the court, doing his pregame warm-ups. He was going to the basket. It must have been wet or something. because it was legit. Like it was bad. Like it looked bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, like I said, I'm not a KD. You know, I haven't been a KD fan for years. But I actually like him on Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. talked about it was the shoes, the low tops. I don't know. I think that's all a myth now, though. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's all a myth.
You see some of these guys' ankles, and their ankles touching the floor when they twist it. It's like high tops weren't going to do nothing.
They won't do nothing about it anyway, right? Please. All right. What's up? What's your final thought, Randall?
Well, obviously I'm not a fan of the remote show either. Maybe before we do this, I need to test run the Wi-Fi a little bit. But time of the year, and of course, coming up soon is little opening day, and I'm a big fan of the World Baseball Classic right now.
Oh, okay. Is it on?
It is, and it's cool. I like how you get the upsets in the tournament. There was one the other day I saw. It was like Venezuela got their first victory over the DR.
Mm.
It's fun because there's a different level. Whenever there's international competition, there's always a different level.
Got you. Yeah, it's funny too because see the show's ending and I'm just now catching your timing.
Wonderful.
There it is. See, there it is.
So,
all right. Well,
we'll be back.
You want to close this show? Close this. You close this show. Close the show, and then it's gonna be delayed, but it'll still work. It'll do it. Just go ahead.
All right. Well, listen. I know we had some technical difficulties. Got to go on, like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we appreciate you guys. Next week we'll be back in person. Looking to have a guest on. As always, for Coach, for Jay. I'm Randy from the remote area. Thanks for watching. Let's get it.